Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the great pleasure and honor to meet with Noel Goggin. He is the CEO of Conga. Welcome, Noel.
Thank you, Gerhard. Very nice to meet you.
When did you start Conga?
The origins of Conga really started in kind of 2006, 2007. So it's been around for a few years now. I really grew up on the Salesforce ecosystem. It can be kind of natively built on force.com, benefited from being one of the early, I would say, the founding ISV players as part of the app exchange within Salesforce. We're now the kind of the number one ISV on Salesforce, actually, which we enjoyed that privilege. And always started as a SaaS company natively, so really didn't have any kind of historical legacy as a licensed company.
And as the company has evolved, you have expanded your footprint and moved towards revenue management.
Yes, we have indeed. It's been actually a very natural evolution for us, based on what we learned from our customers' use cases of how, for us, we're quite horizontal products originally, but now we've started to put them together into, what we term as really the important aspect of any organization: revenue. At the core of any organization, revenue is frankly the fuel that powers an organization. And there's a lot of complexity to revenue. How do you get set up with a set of processes, ways of working that allow you to maximize the customer lifetime value of your customers that you want to go after? So that's what we call it, a life cycle. And within the life cycle, and what we term as there's 4 quadrants in the life cycle. There's what we term as all the things associated with the ability to propose and quote products and services and interdependencies and pricing and discounts and everything else. Then how do you very seamlessly go to the ability to negotiate and execute for the contracts and services you've kind of emotionally agreed with a potential new customer and existing customer? Then how do you go through the management and fulfillment of those contracts, of the products and services in them? And then the final kind of quadrant for us is what we term as renew and expand. There's a lot of moving parts to it, a lot of complexity to it. And for us, the ability for it to sit between what we term as the front-end systems, the front office systems, your back office systems, which are even more complex. We feel that there's a real important life cycle in the middle that has to make all of this work.
Can you share a little bit more what sparked that idea and how did you implement that?
Over the course of our I guess, relatively short tenure as an organization, we've been able to build the trust of over 11,000 customers. And today, the dominant use case of those customers is all through user interface. It's all through kind of named users, seat users, that are oftentimes using it through Salesforce, Sales Cloud as an example, as the kind of the avenue in. But as you start to look at the impact of this end-to-end revenue lifecycle, our ability to open up the platform, expose APIs that allows us to natively integrate in upstream and downstream processes, that we can actually automate the processes, gives back capacity back to a lot of our customers. Opening it up makes it more accessible, less customizations for customers, and more migratability from one release to another. So we believe, over the course of the next number of years, that in fact, the dominant use patterns of our products will actually become through other systems, leveraging the capabilities, as opposed to just end users using the capabilities.
So I could imagine a lot more usage scenarios in different industries.
Financial services is a very big sector for us. If you look at the kind of the basics of loan applications, right? People coming in for loan applications for houses, for cars, for whatever types of loans that people are looking at. The ability to kind of automate that process from coming in on a bank's website, the ability to kind of generate the loan agreement, actually the document generation of that loan agreement, that's for, let's say, for you, Gerhard, with all your details and so on. But then to be able to generate automatically the signature process for that document with your brand on it, that's one of the things that I think we are able to do with our Conga Sign API and our Composer API, the generation of the document and the signature of the document with the bank's branding on it.
Well, I would imagine that the adaptation with your AI-powered tool is not going to take months. What is the typical implementation time?
Our recommendation is to get going quickly, get things into production fast. It allows people to do change management, allows people to start getting early wins, and frankly go a little bit of counter to what, the big normative ERP deployments have been, which is, obviously long and expensive, and just scope expands with time historically.
Right.
So for us, those times can be anything from the simple to the complex, from the simple to being, weeks, to the complex to being in months, but not in years. So that's the scope we're looking at.
What about your product roadmap? How do you see the future of Conga? In which way are you going to expand?
We put ourselves in what we term as a profitable growth profile company. It gives us a lot of security and safety in what we're trying to do. So what we've decided to do is to increase our R&D over the next 2 years by 30%. We're very bullish, I would say, on this revenue lifecycle management. It's a big market. It's a $38 billion market size today. But you will also see Conga now also start to execute very thoughtfully on an M&A strategy that will be very accretive to our product set. You will see it build out breadth of our product sets in terms of complementing existing products that we actually have today. We won't buy things that we have, we'll buy things that we haven't got. So that's basically what I see is over the next 18 months in particular of the journey.
I think it's brilliant. Noel, how can people find out more about Conga and the API first approach?
People can come to conga.com, and there's a whole myriad of resources there, and there's a lot more stuff that will be coming over the next 6 to 9 months, as well as we start to bring more products and more APIs exposed to a lot of our existing products available to the market.